Hey everyone. Hi Aquarius. Alright, anyone new to Opal Oracle, welcome. So nice to have you. Anyone returning, so glad to have you back. I'm Raaji for anyone who's new. Okay, so happy October. Happy Libra season. Yeah, I guess we'll get right into it. You're the second sign, so you can learn something from there's something that you can learn from Taurus, okay? So your overall energy for this time period is Cheranos, which is technically the devil card, but in Celtic tradition, this is a god of sorts. I actually want to read you that. Interesting. It's not usually something I do. One second. So, this is the call to awaken to responsibility. As you learn how to be successful and creative, explore your sexuality and free yourself from inhibitions and repressions. Take care not to become consumed by these activities. Beware of denying the world with its greed, materialism, and rampant consumerism, which threatens to destroy the planet, this plane of existence. Time to accept responsibility for your life and the way that you live it. Okay? The message is the dragon, Nyfre, I guess, N-W-Y-F-R-E, awakens powerfully within you. Great progress is possible, but take care to integrate and channel this force. Right, because it's so powerful that you don't want it to overwhelm, because that's where the idea of like oppression and also obsession come in with this situation. But I see also with the Four of Pentacles on the bottom here that you're learning how to unlock something within your psyche having to do with this, okay? For a lot of you, I always see, particularly this card, I see sexuality, but they're more just, I heard learning how not to be afraid, right? Being aware of the world, right? Being aware of consumerism, being aware of the darkness that people fueled in this world, but something about being really centered in yourself, right? If you died right now, are you good with that, right? Or are you still hiding things, right? And I don't want you to hide anything. I want you to know that you are safe and loved and protected, okay? We have the Wheel. Beautiful. I love this card. We have the Two of Wands. The World, wow. Two circles. The Eight of Swords. Blue, we talk about your throat chakra a lot. And the Star, wow. 4 major arcana. That's the Emperor. And I heard, who are you? Ooh, 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 I really want to know. So either you're asking somebody else that, or you're starting to figure that out for yourself. Okay? Maybe who you were before is now being integrated, right? Maybe whatever your fears were before, you're starting to understand them better and integrate them better into your life so that you start to learn where your restrictions are, okay? Particularly in your mind, this is only air, this is your air sign. Right? Like wherever you feel stuck, because technically this Eight of Swords, and it's interesting we're going here first, but that's what that's what the Emperor is all about, okay? Which obviously is also the Father. Now, this card represents what is actually helping you, okay? I love that your card is the outcome. You, completely, again, naked. Right? Vulnerable, free. Let me see here. This Eight of Swords, what's helping you? Well, what's going to help you during this time is for you to communicate where you're in pain, where you feel stuck, right? Whether you're talking to your therapist or talking to your friends or talking to your mate, your children, what have you. I mean, obviously there's a level, in my opinion, you don't want to... I find that it's important to be honest with children, but you don't necessarily have all the adult conversations with the kids just yet, right? For those of you who have them, and even if you're older, it's like I feel like there's a message for me to relay that there's parents and children are always the parent and the child. Yes, we can become older and start to be, understand that our parents are just people like we are, but there's still something about separating that, about having some sort of boundary about that, right? Like your own private life, right? Right? Because I heard there's a lot of judgments in the world, so there's something about, because I heard what happens in the home stays in the home. Now, I just held my breath. So it shows me that there's something that you want to talk about, but you feel like you can't, right? Like you really want to say something, like all the things, but you know in a way that you have to restrict them. There's another naked female here. Okay? It's like you really want to just expose the whole, I heard the whole jammy. Something about it. You're like, but I see that you want to be protected before you do that. You also understand that it's almost time, but it hasn't quite completed yet. But it depends on divine timing, but then it also depends on you. Like your actions determine, in a way, divine timing, right? Sometimes we don't have a role in choosing when and where, but I see that what you need is this. So it shows me that you make the decision in a way. A person makes a decision, not just God, right? You participate in that some way. What you really need too is something to be solid. Like you're feeling like that, like you're in. This is probably going to happen for everyone collectively. You're also a very collective sign, and thank you for that. But where there's no fire really going on astrologically for everyone in October, there's a lack of it in the chart, in the stars. So because of that, it's like, your energy could be kind of nebulous, right? Like, how do I heard move forward. But the thing is you go from what you want, wheel, you want time to move forward. There's also this hourglass here. You go from this to the world. Then you go from the world all the way to the star. But you only reach the star and your true, I heard your true authentic self, because these two are like this. It's like there has to be something that completes. And I also see really success in you overcoming what we talked about in the beginning, okay? Maybe some of you are stressed out about the fate of the world. I feel you on that, That's totally a possibility. No, Zumi, no thank you. No, baby, it's okay. One second. Hey, no, girls. Don't even think about it, or you're going in the house. So you gotta keep those inner children in check. Zumi, shut your lip. Sutsuke, sit. Suitskitsit. It's enough. Come here. It's okay. It's okay. It's enough. It's just Sandy. Get over here right now. Come on. Get in the house. Get in the house. You can't go see your boyfriend because get in the house. Go. Go. In the house. Come on. In the house. Go. In the house. Go. 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 Mimi, in the house. Get in the house. Go lay down. Sorry. I'm watching my friend's dog and, hey, Zumi, shut your lip. You know when you're babysitting, like, somebody else's kids? You know what I mean? And, like, how do you, you know, you gotta draw the line somehow. That's what I heard. You gotta draw the line. And I just sense that, oh, interesting. Wait a second. There's something about kids, and there's something about, there's a fear about it. Now, of course, for some of you, this is like your actual children. For some of you, it's your inner child. Of course, that's both of those things intertwined. Like, how does your inner... I guess I'm just going to say it real square because I see it. It's kind of like, for some of you, maybe you were suicidal when you were a kid. And if that's the case, I want you to know that that's fading, okay? Whatever that fear is, it could be just for some of you about death in general, right? Jupiter and Scorpio is still happening, like, and what is death? You have something, then you don't have something, right? But if the thing that we had was part of us for so long, the way that we thought about it, the way that we perceived the situation, perceived ourselves, the way that we communicated about when we're stuck or scared or whatever, when we change, when we start changing, when we start healing, when we start closing out cycles and realizing that we actually hold the key to do things for ourselves, yes, of course, divine timing, we have to wait sometimes, right? This is Saturn. It's about time. It's about, you can't learn the lessons like just because you want to. Sometimes you have to wait, right? But now I see that you're starting to see that there's some sort of change within that. Like, I heard you don't have to be afraid. You know, my Aquarian friend, actually, she has a daughter, and she had an experience, and I hope she doesn't mind me sharing, I won't bring up her name, but she told me that she had an experience where she basically, like, did a meditation of sorts, where she had to, like, cut the cord to her child. Not emotionally, not lovingly by any means, but understand that that kid, it's just like Khalil Gibran says, your children are not your children, right? Just like your husband or your wife is not, it's not yours at all. It's a part of your life for now, until it's not a part of your life anymore. And the whole point is like, what can we learn from that? And how safe do we feel when it is nebulous? When there's something that's like in an in-between stage where it's not finished yet, how do we have the root chakra, how do we feel safe enough to express, use the throat chakra to express what it is that we feel? Because all the cards here on the table are blue and green, okay, and yellow. Blue and green and yellow. And then we have red here, okay? I see that you're unlocking your root chakra for a lot of you, and that's very important. That's what also Saturn rules, the root chakra. Okay, maybe for some of you, it could be obviously who you're dealing with, or of course this is your reading, it's about yourself. You know, maybe it's your trauma attached to your root chakra, whether that's literally a sexual situation that happened, or if it's just your safety of when you were a kid. You know? Not to be deep, but like, that's normal. It's really not abnormal. You know, and that's the thing too, is I think a lot of people feel ashamed, right? We feel ashamed, and so we have to like block certain things, you know? Starting to feel comfortable in your own skin. People starting to feel comfortable in their own skin, right? I guess there's something about how comfortable do you feel in your own body. And I was just telling Pisces this, but like, your body also includes what's inside of your body, well, your mind, you know? And I feel like most Aquarians have a pretty strong mindset about it. You can figure out how to unlock things and not be so stuck about it, but I also know that because it's so strong, we have an opposing side to really go deep into it, right? And kind of get stuck there. But really what that is our inner child that's still hurt, right? By the past, right? There's still something. And it very well could be whatever it is that you're carrying or someone that you're dealing with, which again is just a mirror of you to teach each other, like, what is it that you're carrying around that doesn't suit you anymore? You know? And I see little by little you're going to come to be more comfortable with who it is that you are now, okay? And again, knowing that, yes, you can take those steps. You can put effort towards turning the wheel, okay? It's only going to turn so fast. It's only going to turn so fast. But your effort is exactly 17 minutes. Like, you're the water bearer. You're the healer, you know? You can do it. Alright, to end this, close this out, there's a new moon on the 8th of October in Libra. And then there's also a full moon in Taurus on the 24th, 25th. They're both ruled by Venus. We're in Venus season, Libra season. Venus is also going in retrograde. I'm going to mention this to everyone, but in case you just watch one of these videos, I want you to know it's important. There's a lot of reassessing, re-establishing, rearranging, okay? Not to reiterate myself, reiterate. But it's important, you know, like, what's, you know, maybe one of the things that you're reassessing, rearranging is where you feel, you know, whatever it is that's still stuck, the kind of conversations you have in your mind that block you from closing out situations that have to do with Saturn. And also with Saturn, technically the 10th house rules the father, and so did the Emperor with the 4 things. It could be something about your dad, okay? Or for some of you, your husband, you know? But take it easy, because I see that it all depends on how you want to look at it, you know? There's all different ways of healing things. It all depends on what you want to do. Okay? There's no wrong way to do it. Alright, I love you so much. Anyone who's still here, thank you, thank you, thank you for being here and for being a wonderful participant and putting energy into this channel. It really helps, and I'm just so grateful for everyone I've gotten in contact with. In all honesty, I actually have a very small group of friends, like actual friends. Maybe 3 or 4 in real life, but I have another small handful of friends that I've met through this channel specifically, and honestly, because of that connection, you know, it was really much needed, so I really appreciate that, and thank you for all your kind words and loving expression of self. You know, it's like you saying it to you, and that's good. That's what we need to do, right? Because then we can say it to each other and to Mother Nature a lot easier. Okay, love ya. Peace.